Welcome back. We are finally on cycle 2, week 4. We're starting out with the max lower day, and week 4 is kind of like a testing week. So we're going to be doing a free squat and then our deadlift, but it's also not technically a maxing out day. We're supposed to work up to about 90% for each movement. Of course, before we do any of that, we need to get into our warm-up. So let's get warmed up. Finish the warm-up circuit. So now we're going to get into the free squats. I'm going to start with the bar and see how it feels, and then we'll work our way up. Alright, we did a couple sets with just the bar. I saw things of going super slow as part of the warm-up and trying to really fill the movement. So I tried that. It felt pretty good. I felt looser on the second one. So we throw on a little bit of weight and we'll start working our way up. So my last max squat was 275. So I'm throwing about 250 on the bar. So that's right around 90%, if I did my math right. So now after those squats, we gotta do some deadlifts. Once again, it's only going up to about 90%. I'll start with 135 and then we'll start working our way up. Finished off those deadlifts. I got pretty close to the number I was technically supposed to hit. It just felt like my form wasn't the best, so I went ahead and stopped. I'm trying to work and make sure I'm not just hitting numbers to try to hit the numbers. I want to make sure my form's okay. If you were wondering what the heck I was using to get the plates on and off the bar, it's called a dead wedge. You can use a plate, but if your gym doesn't have like a barbell jack, the dead wedge is just kind of something that you can slide a plate on and it'll keep the bar from rolling around when you try to have plates. Anyways, we need to do some back extensions, so let's get those going. All right, we did one round of reverse lunges, and that wasn't feeling great on my left knee. So I'm going to do, I believe it's called a banded TKE, and I believe it's kind of a knee rehab exercise. So we'll knock out some of these. Just kind of put a band behind your knee and then you straighten your leg out. Okay, we finished with that audible instead of doing the reverse lunges. So now we're going to move on to that little closing circuit that I do for some volume. We'll just do some reverse hyper, seated calf, and hanging leg raises for today. So let's get going. That would conclude cycle 2, week 4, lower body max effort work, or however you want to call it. Basically, it wraps up our free squat and deadlifts for today. You guys will be back in just a couple seconds because tomorrow is going to be our max effort upper. So we're going to do some competition bench. It's the next day, so now we're going to do some max upper bench. But before that, we need to get all warmed up. So let's get through that warm up now. Finish that warm up circuit. I went ahead and did 3 rounds, and now we're ready to do some bench. And of course that means we start with an empty bar. Let's get going. Worked our way up to about 90% of my max bench, so that was about 175. And now we're moving on to accessories. So I'm going to start with those cambered bent over rows. Cambered rows are done, so we're going to move on to some skull crushers. Skull crushers wrap up the workout for the day. Except I also do a little closing circuit for some more volume and blood flow, so I'm going to get into that circuit now. that little ending circuit and wraps up my day. Tomorrow we get a day off, and then we will be back again for dynamic lower. So we'll see you then.